I'm Ethan Marlowe, 33 years old, and my wife's betrayal landed us in divorce court, where she walked in certain she'd walk away with half of everything I built. But one line from my attorney shattered that dream, leaving her with nothing but regret. Her deceit didn't announce itself loudly. It slipped in quietly, so subtle I almost missed it. The truth revealed itself during a business trip to Chicago, where I was pitching my company at a tech summit. Each evening, I'd video chat with my wife, Meline, 28, who appeared cozy in our bed, wearing my old sweatshirt, her hair loosely tied, her smile full of warmth. But then I saw it. In the mirror behind her, a shadow flickered, then came into focus. A shirtless man moving around my bedroom like he belonged there. My chest tightened when his face became clear. Noah, an employee I'd hired 2 years earlier. Charismatic, arrogant, and always flirting, especially with Meline. She kept smiling at me on the screen, completely unaware of the reflection that shattered my reality. Matching her calm, I pressed record. That was the moment I began quietly preparing a strike she'd never see coming. I hadn't always been so calculating. My life was about order. At 21, I launched Marlowe Esports Arena, a mix between a gaming hub and a cafe. By 25, it was thriving. By 30, I owned 3 locations. My life was routine, work, gym, sleep, repeat. Then Meline entered. 24, an art student with wild curls and eyes full of mystery. Unlike her loud friends who turned my cafe into their Instagram backdrop. She was quiet, always tucked in a hoodie with bubble tea and a sketchbook. I asked her out, and without hesitation, she said yes. She spoke about star signs, rebellion through fashion, and mismatched socks as a badge of individuality. Her words often baffle me, but they sparked something new. For the first time in years, I felt at peace. When she promised forever, I believed her. We had a small courthouse wedding with just 2 witnesses. At the time, it felt intimate. Looking back, it was just secrecy, a cover for what she'd eventually hide. Noah, 27, was my head barista, attractive in a shallow, showy way. He'd drop half-read quotes, went over customers effortlessly, and pushed boundaries. Even with Meline, lines like, "You're glowing today," or "Your vibe is magnetic." I confronted him once, but he just smirked. Meline dismissed my concerns. "You're overthinking, Ethan. He's just being nice. You're too uptight to get it." I let it slide, feeling like the rigid, controlling husband. Then came that Chicago call. Noah, shirtless, in my bedroom, while Meline acted a loving wife. I didn't explode. Outbursts only feed people like them. Silence, though silence carries weight. I ended the call, sat in the dim hotel room, AC humming. I replayed the video until my rage turned to ice. I wouldn't scream. I'd dismantle her world piece by piece. The next day, I called in Ryan, a close friend and cybersecurity expert. Together, we began peeling away her lies. Her phone's location data revealed late-night art sessions at Noah's dingy apartment. Her files uncovered a 5-year vision board, funded by $150,000 from her investor husband. To her, I wasn't a partner. I was a bank. It got worse. Ryan found her portfolio. Designs she flaunted as her own were stolen from indie Instagram artists, slightly edited and repackaged. That became my weapon. She wasn't just unfaithful. She was a fraud. I didn't rush. I chipped away slowly. I siphoned money from our joint account into my LLC through small transfers, then froze the rest with fraud alert. The lease, under my name, came with a 30-day eviction notice. Her business credit card, tied to my account, was shut down. Within 48 hours, her financial safety net vanished. But money wasn't her only weakness. Ambition was. Ryan and I built a fake international fashion competition, the Verve Collective, a polished site, fabricated judges, and a $25,000 prize. Predictably, Meline submitted her stolen work. We sent proof, side-by-side comparisons, to her dean, fashion blogs, and the original artists. The fallout was immediate. Expulsion, public humiliation, and a storm of furious messages online. Noah's end came more quietly. I summoned him to my office, folder in hand. Tarding his records, customer complaints, and footage of him entering my apartment during work hours. Fired on the spot. Then I gave blunt but damning references to every cafe owner I knew. His career was finished. But the deepest betrayal surfaced when Meline's mother called me in tears, asking about an investment I supposedly made in Meline's brand. I dug into her drafts. It wasn't startup capital. It was a loan tied directly to my company. If she defaulted, I'd lose everything while she walked free. The affair was just a distraction. Her true betrayal was financial sabotage. Weeks later, after her world imploded, she texted, "I know I don't deserve it, but can we talk?" I agreed, meeting her at my cafe. She looked drained, broken. She spoke of regret, of losing everything. I slid my phone across the table, showing her loan contract. "This wasn't an accident," I said, voice steady and cold. "This was your plan to ruin me and walk away clean." Her face collapsed, not from guilt, but from realizing I'd beaten her. "Who told you?" she whispered. "You did," I replied. "You were too busy performing to notice I was studying every move." I stood and walked out. For the first time, silence wasn't betrayal. It was justice. Meline retreated to her parents, surviving on pity. Noah was unemployed. Me? I still had my business, my future, and my peace. In divorce court, my lawyer delivered the final blow. All assets remain with Ethan. She gets nothing. The silence that followed was louder than any applause. At first, victory didn't feel triumphant. Friends celebrated my escape. But at night, alone in the quiet cafe, I felt only the weight of wasted years on someone who saw me as a resource. Over drinks, Ryan cut through. "You've been living on revenge, man. Now you're empty. Time to build for you." He was right. I grew my business, not to prove anything, but because I wanted to. I opened a fourth location in Austin, spoke at conferences, and even rediscovered my hobbies: drawing, hiking, cooking real meals instead of takeout. Meline had made life a battlefield. I was choosing peace. 6 months later, she came back. A bright Sunday morning. Students laughing, gamers playing, sunlight flooding the cafe. Meline walked in, oversized sunglasses hiding weary eyes. A faded version of the woman I'd married. She waited until I was alone at the counter. "Ethan, can we talk?" I should have walked away, but curiosity held me. We sat. Her hands trembled around a coffee she couldn't afford. "I messed up," she whispered. "I thought I could outsmart everyone. I thought you'd always forgive me. I don't want money. I cut her off, calm even to myself. "You don't want me, Meline. You want the man who'd bankroll your dreams. That man's gone." Tears filled her eyes. "But I loved you." I leaned back, unmoved. "No, you love what I gave you. When that stopped, so did you." She sat there, stripped of her performance, broken. The cafe buzzed with life around us. I placed a $20 on the table for her coffee and stood. "Don't come back." I walked away. True freedom wasn't in crushing her. It was in moving forward. A year later, my company was thriving. I had a loyal team, real friends, and a quiet sense of peace. When people asked about my ex, I no longer tensed. I just shrugged. She had taught me the cost of neglect and the power of silence. Meline and Noah faded into irrelevance, background noise of my story. The real journey was mine. Betrayal comes quietly, but so does healing. Not with explosions, but with the calm realization that the storm has passed and you're still standing. That strength to stand alone, that was louder than vengeance.